everybody, welcome back to Lambton Family Farms. My name is Max, and today is Saturday, August 3rd. Today I am spending a rainy day in the commercial kitchen, dehydrating some squash. So we've been picking a lot of summer squash from the garden, and it's getting to the point where we need to start storing it or using it. So we've been doing all sorts of sauteed summer squash. I've been baking squash for the chickens. Yesterday I fed some of the goats some squash. So this week I am planning on dehydrating some squash, and I'm hoping that this winter and fall we'll be able to pull it out and put it in soups and baked goods and things, or like baked dishes. I've never dehydrated summer squash before, but we've got a lot of it, and I'm wanting us to try it this year to see how we like it. I'm hoping it will be a nice alternative from canning it or pickling it. I have pickled summer squash in the past and it's been fine. I just find that I don't eat it. So I'm trying to avoid spending time doing things that I don't later eat. Like we always eat canned applesauce. I've done pickles in the past, and I just generally don't eat them. I do like dilly beans and I do like pickled carrots and pickled beets, but just to have pickles, we just don't eat it. So I'm really hoping that we'll like this. And I also saw recently, it was an article about making your own zucchini and squash flour. And so I'm hoping that if we dry it and then want to try that later on, we can. We are currently gluten-free, so I'm thinking this might be a good alternative to substituting some of the gluten-free flour and cutting down on the cost, because gluten-free flour is actually a bit pricey. So I think that might be a nice alternative, something we certainly would want to try. And then we're also going to try doing zucchini chips. So I think we've decided on we're going to do a chimichurri seasoning and then put those in the dehydrator and see how that goes. So Julia got this last year. I think she got it off Facebook Marketplace, so we're trying it out. So far so good. I've had some of the squash in there since this morning. So it's been about 4 hours, and I've already been able to consolidate some of the squash that was in there and add more in. So I think it's going really well. I'm trying to keep the pieces, so right now I'm doing, I believe these were Juan de Vert custard summer squash. So I'm cutting these up. They are a little bit of an awkward shape, but I'm trying to keep the pieces as square as possible. So I'm mostly ending up with pieces like this. And then this is my scrap bin, and I'm going to be baking this and giving it to the chickens. And I haven't started this yet, but I need to start researching how I can save seeds from these. I've never saved summer squash seeds, I've always just bought them, but I've got seeds anyway, so I figured I might as well learn how to save seeds from squash. I'm just a little unsure about how big I need to let the squash get. Like, obviously these have seeds already, but they do seem a bit immature. So I'm thinking that I will probably just need to maybe dedicate one plant or a squash from every plant to just let it get large, and then maybe cure it in the field. I'm not quite sure. I'm pretty comfortable with my ability to scoop them out and save them from the plant after I've harvested it, but I just don't know how big I'm supposed to let the actual fruit itself get. So I want to do a little bit more research on that before I start harvesting seeds. But every year I try to learn a little bit more about collecting my own seed, and so far so good. We just harvested a cantaloupe yesterday that I grew from seed that I harvested last year, and I'm also growing watermelon this year from seeds that I harvested. And I've got zinnias outside and Swiss chard, all from seed that I collected. I'm trying to think what else this year I've got from seed. Well, my own seed that I've kept. I think that's it. So if I can add on summer squash and winter squash and pumpkins next year, that will really save me a lot of money in seed. So I'm just trying to learn a little bit more every year. Just trying to make peace with not learning it all in the same year, because that feels really overwhelming. But if you just add on a little bit every year, eventually you'll know quite a bit. So just trying new things. I also wanted to see, and if anyone has any recommendations, please put them in the comments. Please, please, please. Um, maybe doing a like pickled summer squash in a crock. And not a crock pot, but like an old crock, you know, that you do sauerkraut and pickles in. We moved quite a few of those over with us when we moved here to New York, and I have yet to use them. I really want to do sauerkraut. I don't have cabbage this year though, so that's gonna have to wait, but I love sauerkraut. But I had read that you could probably ferment summer squash using a crock, so I would really like to try that as well. Like I said, we don't eat a whole lot of pickles, but you know, we've got the food and we've got the crock sitting there, so I wouldn't mind trying it if I've got a little bit extra squash, which I'm sure I will. So far we're managing to keep up, but you know, doesn't hurt to try something new. So I'm going to be cutting up these. I've got quite a few of them here. I think it's funny all the different shapes that they have decided to come in. We love this one. Julia and I both really like it. It's a very tulip custardy shape. I just love it. Generally, they've been coming up like this. We have decided that we like this variety. We like that better. Oh, I don't think I have any in here right now. But we used to really like Benning's Green Tint, which is also a patty pan. And that's okay, but those get a harder shell than these. These are nice and soft, which makes it easier to cut. So it takes less time to prepare these, and we think that the shape is so fun. And then I forget the name of this one, but this is also like a green patty pan that we've grown this year. This one's good. This shell is still softer than Benning's. I like Benning's. I think they look like little ghosts, which I think is adorable. But they are really hard to cut into. And then I also have, now these I did forget on the vine for a couple of extra days, so they're larger than what I like. But we've got a 8-ball and cue ball, so summer squash, and I'll probably cook these up for the chickens. You can see I let a couple of them get really big. So we've got those, and I like those. They're good sauteed. But I think this might be our favorite variety this year, and these have been very prolific. I think yesterday alone we did, I think we collected 8. So I really like these. So anyway, I'm just gonna keep cutting up summer squash. My goal is, so today is Saturday, I'll probably be dehydrating all week. I only have this one. At some point I'd like to get a commercial dehydrator because we want to dehydrate more herbs and probably meats and squashes. We're going to dehydrate a lot of apples this fall, but I'm trying to get some cut up in advance so that during the week I can just add on and walk away and not have to spend every time cutting up more squash. So we've got that going, and then Julia is also making some farmer's cheese this weekend. So right now she just took 6 gallons of milk and she took the cream off. So she's gonna make butter and she's gonna try sour cream this weekend, which we've never done. But she's doing some farmer's cheese. Okay, so I'm making pretty good progress on cutting up some squash, and I don't know if you can see this, but the cats are in the window. It's raining outside, and while they have the whole barn, they want to be here acting like that they don't have anywhere to go. So they're both napping up in the windowsill. So I've got these 3 bins are for just dehydrating the squash. I'm going to fill this up probably 3/4 of the way with different varieties, and I'm doing these more in a chip size. These are going to be the zucchini chips, or squash chips, I guess. I'm doing these a little bit thicker, and so we're going to season these and test out that chimichurri seasoning. So that's going pretty good. The milk is still coming up to temperature, And after I just get this a little bit done, I'm gonna take a break and have some lunch, and then come back and cut up some more squash. So far so good. It is nice having all of this rain in the summer. I don't envy the people who are doing hay, because it's not staying dry enough long enough to help out with the hay season, but I have not watered the garden since beginning of June, I think, and it has been really nice having all of this rain. So, you know, it does have its benefits. It is making it very humid though, but it's nice having some quiet days. So I'm just wrapping this up, and when I go in for lunch, I'll need to remember to grab that chimichurri sauce. I'm wondering if we should maybe put a little olive oil on as well. Might have to look that up while I'm in there. But I'm not to get these too thin and not too thick. Alright, time for a break. And take the temperature of that milk before I go in too. Okay, so I have my 3 bins that will be just dried squash. And then this is going to be the chips. And so I'm just finishing cutting it up now. And I brought over the seasoning. We're going to try 2 different ones. I probably will just do this bin as one seasoning, and then the next batch we'll try a second one. So we're probably going to try this chimichurri one first. This is just something we got from Giant Food Mart. This is a chimichurri sauce mix, and I'm going to coat it with olive oil first, and then put on the seasoning. We could also probably just do zucchini gray or something like that, and that would also be a good style to do. So anyway, I've got my zucchini here, and I do think this is a little full, so I'm going to take some out, and then we'll do those separate, just because I want to have enough room to kind of toss them around. So maybe we'll do like half of these with the chimichurri, and then we could do the other half with the other one is a churrasco steak seasoning we're going to try. Okay, so I think that's probably pretty good. Since we've got this, I'm just going to mix up the varieties here, and I'm just going to coat them lightly with olive oil. So then I'm going to put the chimichurri sauce on. And I'm probably just going to overcoat a little bit, because I know some of this is going to fall off when we dry them. So I'm not really worried about overdoing it. I will probably come back and add a little bit of salt, just because I think this doesn't have a whole lot. Okay, so those are nice and kind of evenly coated now. So I think what I'll do is I'll switch tubs. Let me go grab another one, and then we'll use this bowl to coat the next batch. We'll just do the same thing with the next round. Do our olive oil first. I'm really curious to see how we like these and just kind of have on the shelf when you want to pull it out. So let's just have to wait and see. I already think I'm going to like this one better. There's definitely this, so this is a steak seasoning, so it's more salt, and the ingredients are more finely ground than the first one, and I do think this is going to kind of marinate these better than the chimichurri, but we'll have to wait and see. For our wedding, we had it catered, but the steak had a wonderful chimichurri sauce that we had extra, and we ended up freezing it and pulling it out over the course of the next year. I think we had it, and it was the best chimichurri sauce. We still talk about that chimichurri. It was just delicious. All right, so this batch is done. I'm just gonna get the extra bits out of the bottom. So we'll just let those marinate for end up drying them. And then afterwards we'll have to do a taste test. Okay, so now that we've got our chips marinated, I'm gonna pop these into the refrigerator, and I think I will put the other ones in the refrigerator as well, just because it is actually quite humid, especially with all the rain that we've had. So I don't want them going bad while they wait to go in the dehydrator. So I'm going to pop those in the fridge, and then I'm going to turn on the oven and start baking up this squash. So you can see these are all the scraps from what I just cut up. And in the video you might have thought, well, you know, I am wasting quite a few of the edges of the tulip variety, but I'm not really wasting. All of this is going to go to the chickens, including all of the middles, the seedy bits. And the chickens really do seem to like them. So I don't really feel bad about not using everything for the dehydrator, because the chickens will enjoy it. Okay, so dishes are done, including I am bleaching my milk lines right now. I try to do that at least every couple of weeks, but I got all the lines scrubbed out. I've got a long brush that I use, and then the teacups and the top of the milk bucket are all in bleach right now, bleach water. Got that washed up. I got the countertops cleaned off. I try to do that at least once a week. Keep everything nice and clean in here. This is the kitchen that we're hoping to rent out here soon. So I'm just trying to keep everything clean. I've got the squash corner kind of cleaned up, and so it is not raining outside, so I'm gonna get outside and I'm probably gonna mow for a while. When I don't feel super motivated to do a big project in the barn, like right now, it's been a quiet day. I don't really feel like doing a whole lot. I have been sitting on my lawnmower because I have a very slow lawnmower and a very big field to do, and it is taking quite a bit of time. And so I mowed probably for an hour and a half this morning. I'll probably jump back on the lawnmower and go mow for a while. It's kind of one of those things where if you're just going to be sitting anyway, you might as well be mowing the lawn. So I'm going to go do that for a while, and then I will check back up on the squash here in a little bit and probably add some more back into it. And then Julia will come back. She's got the citric acid in the cheese right now. Well, will be cheese right now. So she'll come check that in a bit, and in about, probably about 3 hours, it'll be milking time anyway. So the days sure do go by quick. Hey everybody, welcome back. So it's Sunday morning and I've just come check on the squash. They look really good. I'm really excited about this. So you can see that's the dried just plain squash. And I do think it turned out really well. They're really nice and dry. I think it's been dry enough. I did it at 135 degrees for about 24 hours, so I think that's fine. Really happy with that. I think it's really exciting. I think I'm really gonna like dehydrating. So I'm gonna keep it with the squash. I was able to kind of consolidate what was in there and add more. So I've already added the better parts of one of the tubs, of just plain squash, and I was able to try the chips. So the chips, let me pull a couple out. I've got them just on this top tray now. But I really like them, and Julia and I taste tested them. I really like them. Julia's not 100% on board with the texture yet, but I think that once they dry a little bit more, they'll be less chewy. Because they did marinate, that they're not all the way done yet because there was a lot of moisture. But I really do like them. So you can see the seasoning has stuck quite a bit to it. So that is one of the steak ones, and then this is the chimichurri. But I do really like them. So they definitely still have the olive oil on them. So they're gonna get a little bit longer. I put them all on the top tray, and I added, let's see, there's 4 trays total. I said the bottom 3 trays is more squash. So what I'm gonna work on this morning is cutting up more squash, just because I'm going through it at a pretty good clip. So I had 2 of these, and I forget what the bigger tub that I put them in, but so I got 2 of those, and I'm gonna cut up, probably I've got 8 more summer squash on the counter here, and I'm going to cut everything up. Hi Onslow. No, you can't come inside anymore, buddy. So I'm going to be cutting everything up today, and then I'll have it all ready to go for the week, so I won't have to worry about it. All right, here we go. All right, everybody, I think that's going to be it for now for the zucchini and summer squash. I will keep you updated maybe next weekend, see how far that I've got. So far, I've got some dried zucchini and summer squash, and I should have that first batch of chips done by the end of the day. I've been working on cutting up some more, so I'm ready for the week, so I've got lots to go. I also have started to collect some seed, so I will see about saving those. And then I'm hoping maybe next weekend I'll be able to start drying some apples. So I'm curious to see, and we'll go over this in the next video, but we've already started to have some apples dropping on the ground, and while they're a little bit too tart for us to eat, I am going to try dehydrating some to make apple treats for the horses because our horses do love apple flavored treats, and we might as well be making our own instead of buying them from the store. So anyway, hope you guys have a great week. Thanks for joining me. Bye.